Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. But before we go ahead and get on into the review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new bookish content. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes other days throughout the week. Also, don't forget to check down in the description box below for links to all of my social medias, my Buddy Read Discord, and my Patreon, where you can be entered into winning book giveaways from me. The Bone Ships is the first book in the Tied Child trilogy, which is a maritime adult fantasy, and this is the first book I have read by this author. This book was chosen by my patron and friend Dom over at Dominish Books. Go check out his channel for me to read in the month of February and review, and he also read it and has a full review up, so I'll link that up in the cards for you to check out as well. In The Bone Ships, we are following a main character named Joran Schweiner, and he is young. He's about 19 years old, and he is the captain of this ship known as the Tide Child, and it is a black ship, meaning that everybody who crews this ship is a criminal. It's kind of like a sentencing. Literally, like the first couple pages of the book, Joran is forced from his ship as captain by this woman known as Lucky Mies, and she forcefully takes over captaining the Tide Child. And Lucky Mies is a very famous ship captain. By the way, in this world, ship captains are known as ship wives, whether they are male or female. So she is a very famous shipwife, and she sees that Joran has been not doing a good job at managing the Tide Child. Basically, he doesn't do anything except for drink, and he kind of let the crew become disorderly, and she decides to take over his duties and kind of whip the crew back into shape. But what we soon learn is that she has her own reasons for doing this, and she needs the Tide Child and the crew in order to achieve her end goal. The Bone Ships are unique because they are built from these old dragons known as Archesians, and the Archesians no longer exist, but one has been sighted, and there are multiple kingdoms that are now hunting this Archesian because they want the bones to use to build ships. There are no other ships that last as long and as are strong as the ones that are built from Archesian bones. So whoever can find the dragon, slay the dragon, and use its bones will essentially hold more power in this world. So the Tide Child, captained by Lucky Mies, who recruits a bunch of unscrupulous personnel to help crew her ship, and Joran Schweiner, who is essentially demoted to second in command, embark on this journey to chasing and hunting down this dragon. But like I said, we soon learn that there is way more to this plot than first meets the eye. In this book, we are actually following Joran's point of view. He is definitely our protagonist, and I would say that there are three main characters, and then there are a bunch of side characters. So the first I'm going to talk about is Joran. So Joran, like I said, is about 19 years old. He's really immature. He lost his father very soon before being sentenced to crew a dead ship, and for like the longest time, we didn't learn exactly what Joran did in order to get sentenced onto a dead ship, but finally that story is revealed, and it does play into the plot in an interesting way. And Joran really, like I said, had no idea how to crew this ship and was not fit at all to be a captain. Joran does have an awesome character arc over the course of this book. He does grow into being a very good and competent officer. He literally reminds me of just a newbie, like a rookie. It's a rookie story about a young person that has to learn from an older mentor, learn from experience, and gather courage in the face of adversity. And that's exactly what Joran did. The next character is Lucky Mies, and Lucky Mies has a lot more depth to her than I originally thought. So she is one of the most famous shipwives in all of the 100 Isles, and she is described as having like gray in her hair, so I imagine she's probably like late 40s, early 50s, and she is like a no-nonsense, get it done, I'm not scared of anything type of shipwife, and she's very stern, very smart, has a ton of experience, and just exudes confidence. She is a bit rough around the edges, and I did listen to part of this book on audiobook, and the audiobook narrator, whenever he was speaking in Lucky Mies' voice, would use this like really gruff, like masculine sounding voice. Like if you didn't know she was a female and listened to the audiobook, you would definitely think she was a male. But yeah, she's just gruff and rough around the edges. She's an awesome mentor for Joran, however, like she really believes in him and encourages him and rebukes him, criticizes him, kind of takes him under her wing. She sees that he has potential to be a really good ship captain and decides to teach him what she knows. And then the third character that I thought was really prominent was the Glame. So the Glame is a magical, fantastical creature, and it can control the wind, and every single ship has a Glame. And Glame are kind of described as erect like a human with human characteristics, but it also has bird or avian type characteristics like claws, a beak, wings that don't fly, and it does speak, but it also kind of sings in this bird-like language, and that is how it controls the wind. And the Glame is actually befriended by Joran, and this was suggested by the Captain Lucky Mies in order for the Glame to perform better at wind calling on the ship. They really do depend a lot on Glames to help them sail efficiently. And the reason I think the Glame is going to be so important is because it speaks like very enigmatic, like almost like riddles to Joran, like it knows something that Joran doesn't. We find out that the Glame knows a little bit more about the dragons than Lucky Mies and everybody else knew. And also Joran and the Glame are developing a type of friendship, so I feel like it's going to be a big part of the plot. As for the things that I liked, I thought that this world was really well crafted. I personally like maritime fantasy, and most of this book did take place on a ship. There were some instances where they were fighting on land. In the beginning of the book, there was some politicking done on land, but the majority of this is on the ocean on this ship. So if you're someone that doesn't like seafaring type adventures, this might not be the right book for you. I felt like the day-to-day ship operations, the way that they were described and how they managed everything was just very real and well done. This society does seem to be fairly matriarchal, so we are introduced to someone known as the 13 Burn, who is kind of like the ruler of part of this world, and she has been elevated so high in position because she has birthed 13 children. There is a little bit of trouble with some women being able to have children or have healthy children, and that's a big stigma in this society. As for the things I didn't like so much, this book is extremely straightforward. It is a very simple plot, at least for right now. So you have this awesome world developed with its own vocabulary, its own political system, its own governing system. You have the history of the dragons, you have the conflict between the 100 Isles and the Gaunt Islands people. So you have all of that established. But the plot to hunt down this dragon and kill it is just very straightforward. And there is a little twist at the end that really isn't that unexpected when you learn more about what's going on. There was a lot of action in this book. Like I said, more day-to-day operations on the ship, but also fighting on land. It is balanced nicely with character development, but there is heavy action. And the last thing I didn't like so much about this book was that the writing style was very dry and the characters were very dry. I would assume that in like a ship story, there would be kind of like one of those characters that is just humorous and funny. So I'm thinking like Pirates of the Caribbean, or you'll have like a funny parrot. By the way, there was a parrot in this book, and I think the author tried to make the parrot humorous, but it just like didn't balance out with the seriousness and dryness of the rest of the book. So I just felt like it was lacking some humor. All in all, I really did enjoy The Bone Ships. I really did get through this book very quickly because of how simple the plot was and how straightforward the writing style was. I do think that the characters are going to develop and really grow, so I'm excited to see that. And I do want to continue with this series. I gave The Bone Ships 4 out of 5 stars. All right, you guys, let me know in the comments if you have read The Bone Ships and what you thought of it, and I will see y'all in another video soon. Goodbye!